As per the June 2026 naturalization guidance, now what you need to understand is there are two different requirements of referee 1 and referee 2. The first one being referee 1 can be of any nationality. They do not have to be British. Number two, they must be a professional person, which means that as per the UK Home Office, there is a long list of recognized professions that fall under. Let me give you some examples, but all the examples in the list are in the description down below. Airline pilot, a director of a limited company that is VAT registered, a chartered accountant, a solicitor or a barrister who's not acting on behalf of your application. Now, the challenge is if these people that you want to nominate, they are a professional person, but they do not fall under the same profession that is listed in the UK Home Office, then what do? I had an example of a client where one of the referee was an Italian citizen. He was actually a professional architect in the UK, and he was regulated by the Royal Societies of Architects in the UK and in Italy. So even though his profession was not in the list, it was accepted by the UK Home Office. So if you come across a person who's a professional person who's regulated but is not in the list, draft a cover letter saying, as far as my referee 1 is concerned, I have included this person because this person has genuinely known me for more than 3 years. The reason why I'm mentioning this person as a referee 1 is because he is regulated by so and so body. For example, he's a dentist or he's an architect, but that profession is not listed, and because I only know this person who can qualify to become referee 1, I would urge you to accept this as a referee 1. Now, once you do that and transparently disclose that, your credibility strengthens, and the case officer would say, okay, he has listed me the details. They have given his membership number like a professional architect or a proof of that they hold an architect license, right? They can validate that thing. Now, what else can really help your application is you provide the passport copy of that person who's acting as your referee number 1 with the endorsement form. So what I would do is, as you have to, they have to see your photograph. At the back of the photograph, they have to write your name, write your date of birth, and then stick it onto the form, referee number 1 form, which is showing on the screen, and then they have to sign it, right? What you do is, with that form, attach the passport copy of the referee who's actually signing it. The benefit of that, once you upload that copy, it reduces the amount of time to cross-verify that who that person is by looking into the details if you provided the passport copy. Now, I had an applicant where we had both the referees British citizens, and it became really, really easy to, verify. But in case you don't know a British citizen, that is an excellent option. Attaching a copy of the passport or official ID is important because you can look at their full name, first name and the last name, how it is written on the official document. That is exactly how you have to write in the naturalization application form. But there is also important fact that you need to know is who cannot act as your referee. They cannot work for the Home Office. They cannot be your solicitor or legal representative or barrister who's doing your application. So please make sure that you don't include that. They cannot also be related to you. For example, that your wife is a British citizen, you cannot make her a referee. So if you're living in the same household, like for example, you rent out a house, in that house you're renting one room, the other person is renting other room, and they are of different nationality, then they've known you. Can you list them as a referee? The answer is no, because there is a potential for bias. And what they want is that they should not be living with you, they should be living in a different household. So if you are in a block of flats, you live in flat number 3, the other referee lives in flat number 6, is that possible that they can become your referee? Absolutely yes, because they're living in a different household. Okay, it's really, really important. But then also you listed in the cover letter that even though the address of the full building is same, my residence is flat number 3, the referee 1 lives in flat number 6, and he's known me for at least 3 years. This way it assists you. Now when it comes to referee number 2, the mandatory requirement is that the referee number 2 must be a British citizen. That is there is no discretion, it is must that you need to have. So always get their passport copy. Number 2, there are 2 requirements, which is an option. The word or is used. Either they should be a professional person. If they are not a professional person, but they are above the age of 25, then their profession doesn't matter. So for example, if you got a friend who's known you for say 4 years, they are 26 years of age, but they are a hairstylist. Okay, they can be accepted as a referee as long as they're British and above the age of 25 because they meet that criteria. But if they were age 22 and they were British citizen, then they have to be in the listed profession list, something like a chartered accountant or a solicitor who's not acting on your behalf, then they have to be, doing that. So my recommendation is always find a work colleague who you have been working for a while, they've known you, and they're a British citizen. They could be your line manager, they could be your HR manager, because they've known you, right? If somebody has known you for 2 years and 8 months, can you list them that they have known you for at least 3 years? The answer is no. Do not lie, because if they find out that they have not known you for at least 3 years, right, they can refuse your application. Normally, they want to know that this person has recognized you from the photograph. They've actually known you for 3 years. They're a professional person. For referee number 1, they don't have to be British, but if they are British, it's great. If they're not British, it doesn't matter. Please double check that they don't have any criminal record, because their background really matters. Please also check where they have been living. If the person has moved in the last 3 months to a new address, always ask for the previous address so that you can provide, because you'll be asked if you've lived less than 2 years at the same address, you'll be asked for the previous address. So it's really important. One final tip: when you're filling up the naturalization application form for referees, provide the copy of the information that you've entered in the form to the referee and send them an email confirming that, look, as agreed, I am providing your name as my referee. You may be contacted to confirm that. Please keep an eye on the email, because if you have someone who's not responsive to emails and they ignore it and it goes into the spam inbox, your application may be refused as invalid and they could ask you to replace with some other referee. I hope the tips have been useful to you. If you don't know how to fill up a British citizenship application on a 5-year route, the link is in the description for that. If you are a spouse married to a British citizen and want to naturalize as a British citizen and want a step-by-step guide, that link is also available. Please do subscribe to the channel, and if you need any consultation, you can always book an appointment. Till next time, take care.